What is going on, guys? So we got some super cool news today. Tesla is just launched in India, and this is such a big deal because one, just new market, and the other big thing is that Tesla is, um, I'm sorry, India is one of the largest population countries in the world, and so they have roughly a population like back in 2023 that was at 1.4 billion population of India. And then, one thing that we do have to consider when it comes to India is um, basically the average income for the individuals there. So I ran some calculations on how many people make over $100,000 per year in India, and it's roughly like 1%. So if you do the math on that, that leaves like 1 million, 1.4 million people make over $100,000 in India. So definitely smaller or a much lower percentage than what is here, like in North America. But that's also at 100,000. We're not looking at 80,000, 60,000, those types of numbers. And also coming into the market of India, they're going to be lower cost vehicles. They're still going to be the same vehicles we probably have, but they're just going to make them with lower cost. Kind of the same thing they're doing with China. You're probably going to see the same similar prices that you see in China and India. Um, but that's still 1.4 million people that have the capability to buy a Tesla. And again, that number is actually increased because as soon as you take that down to 70,000 a year, I mean, you could probably make 50,000 a year, 60,000 a year, and be able to afford a Tesla. Maybe not necessarily the Cybertruck because that's one of the expensive ones, but this is just a super big deal with Tesla or for Tesla. Obviously, like the Model Y, I think the people will be able to afford the Model Y, and it's plausible that they do come out with a lower model Tesla, right? Everybody says, "Where's the new model at? Where's the new model at?" Well, maybe a new model comes out and it's not available in North America, or it's not going to be available in North America for multiple years. So I think that's something highly plausible that we'll see. I mean, they might make it where, again, you can only get it in India. I don't think they'll make it in China. I think maybe just very select markets where you can get maybe a lower model vehicle, and they just have to do much cheaper like interiors. I don't know how they can get much cheaper because, to be honest, I think like Tesla's interiors are kind of cheap anyway. I can just feel like the build quality of them and everything, but like the seats are definitely nice and stuff in there, so they could definitely go with some lower quality seats, go with some cloth, or just something cheaper than what's currently in there. Um, Smaller batteries, that's definitely one option that they could do, is just reduce the battery size. In India, I would say you're not traveling as far majority of the time. You're in your car for a long period of time because traffic's so bad. So it's a lot of sitting idle, maybe running your air conditioning or running your heat or whatever. Um, so uh, Definitely, their standard version of a vehicle could be a much smaller battery pack, which obviously batteries is like the kind of significant amount of cost. I'm really surprised that like the Model Y and some of these other vehicles don't have a mini battery pack, right? Where they can take another $2, $3, $4, $5,000 out of the vehicle and have a vehicle that has only like 150-mile range or something like that. Because like for everybody's day-to-day driving, really that's all they really need. By the way, it's super hot outside. Um, but yeah. Oh, by the way, these protein milks are the way to go. 30 grams of protein, Fairlife Nutrition. Supplement my diet a lot with those. But yeah. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see how this is going to work out. I mean, I think the other big thing is the sales volumes are going to be crazy there, just because there's going to be so many people that want. There's going to be so many people that want a Tesla there, right? Tesla's in super high demand. A lot of people in India don't think that Tesla is going to, or Teslas were ever going to come to India. Basically, all the Teslas that are in India right now all had to be imported, right? There wasn't, and people had to import them on their own dime and find workarounds. I mean, I'm shooting a video, man.
Can you show me the floor?
No, not right now. I'm shooting a video. Why are you talking about shooting a video, please? Okay? Okay. Okay,
Well,
okay.
later.
I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you later.
But we're not talking right now.
Okay. Um, but yeah, so there's a lot of people that just don't think that Teslas are ever going to come to India, and um, so like that's a it created like that excitement around Teslas and Teslas being in India because again they just didn't think they would ever come. They just and a lot of people just like don't feel like they would succeed in India as well, but they feel like they won't succeed not because people don't want them, but just because other companies have not been able to succeed in India. So GM has been in India, Ford has been in India as manufacturers, and they've all failed. And you can't even buy Ford and GM vehicles in India at all. So they were there at one point in time, but they basically left the market because they just couldn't hold up. Whereas you do still have other makers that we have here in the U.S. like Toyota's pretty big over there in India. However, I think when Tesla enters a market, they know how to be adaptive to that market and be successful in that market. Again, the amount of people that have the amount of money needed to buy a Tesla is definitely going to be less because again, India is one of those markets where vehicles are $15,000 new. It's like $25,000 new, and they're like pretty decent, have nice Android Auto screens and stuff in them, and stuff like that. So, um, it's an extremely competitive market. But again, once you start to get in like the higher end, which people would consider Tesla more higher end, um, they still can drive a higher price target. You still have your more expensive vehicles in India as well. It's just like a lot less common. So um, I think that Tesla probably will sell close to that 1.4 million. I don't think it'll be in a year. I think maybe they'll sell. I don't know. I think they could sell like 100,000 a quarter. I really think that Tesla could sell at least 100,000 vehicles per quarter in India. So again, that'd be extremely uh, good for Tesla. Now, the other thing to that is I don't think that they're going to sell. I don't think they're going to sell those vehicles at the same profit margins that they're selling them like in North America. So I think there's going to be a major reduction in the profit margins. That's gonna be like the worst thing about it is like the sales volumes might be higher and profit margins lower. Um, Also, like FSD, I don't think that FSD is going to be sold really in India. I mean, they might have FSD. I don't know. I just FSD in India, like this would be crazy. Like FSD in India would work for the highways. There are still highways there that like you could utilize FSD for, but inner city. If you watch any videos on how India traffic is, that's legit. Yeah, I mean, you go into something they call a town or a village. I live in a city called Evansville, Indiana, 300,000 population. Their towns and their villages have 300,000 populations. Like it's wild. Given like majority of it's like scooter traffic, so probably at least 50% of it's scooter traffic. Um, Maybe more scooter slash motorcycle traffic. Um, but it's just wild, just like the flow of traffic. It's like kind of the way you see like ants, and the way the ants like go and eat and stuff like that. There's like they like, intertwine with one another. Oncoming traffic just goes, zigzags between lane. I mean, it's like wild, just like. So I've been to India quite a few times. I have business operations over in India, so I kind of understand, the dynamics of India and whatnot, and some of uh, the culture around India and some of the Indian culture in general. So the culture of driving and the culture of uh, the people there. So I've been to Chennai, India. I've been to Bangalore, India, many of times. That's where we have some business operations at. Mumbai, Delhi. So I've been to pretty much all the major cities in India, and so uh, pretty much same traffic everywhere. I've also been to like some small villages in smaller cities like Raipur, um, and it's all the same like driving culture all throughout India, and FSD just really won't perform very well in those areas. There'll be like a lot of intervention or a lot of a human driver having to tell the Tesla to go, like just always staying on the gas, like no, just go, just go, just go. But then again, I've seen some videos of people posting their FSD in China and the way that it operated, and there was a little bit of like how India traffic is in China. So I see a little bit of that chaos, the way that you see it in India, but India is just like next level as far as like the way that people drive there and the culture around driving, But yeah, let me know if this was insightful for you guys. If you have any questions, drop it down in the comments below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more Tesla-related content, more entrepreneurial-related content, and property investments and things like that. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.